Hello everyone, welcome back to new video of physics paper 3. In previous video we have been started second unit, that is biophysics, but some remaining part is there, that is like surface tension and some topics like osmosis and osmotic pressure. So those all remaining part we will discuss in this video. So here the points that we will cover are surface tension, then experimental determination of surface tension by stalagmometer method, then osmosis and osmotic pressure, and lastly we will see some sample objectives. So let us begin with the first point, that is surface tension. So what exactly surface tension is? It is a free surface of a liquid in a vessel which behaves like a stretch membrane. Okay, suppose there is a free surface of liquid and that is in a vessel, so it will be behave like a stretch membrane, and molecules on those surface film experience that stretching force. Okay, and that force is acting perpendicular to imaginary straight line drawn anywhere on that free surface of a liquid. So what will be the surface tension? It will be that force per unit length acting at right angle to an imaginary line drawn on the free surface of that particular liquid is called as surface tension. Okay. Yes, you must get the definition what exactly surface tension is. It is the force acting per unit length at right angle to imaginary line which drawn on the surface of a liquid is called as surface tension. So as per the definition, what will be the formula? It will force upon length. Yes, T is equal to F upon L. And what will be the unit, SI unit of the surface tension? As the formula says, force upon length, then the unit of force is newtons and the unit of length is meter. So unit of surface tension will become Newton per meter, that is SI unit. And what will be the CGS unit? As SI unit is Newton per meter, then CGS will be counted as dyne per centimeter. Okay, so according to this units, what will be the dimensions of surface tension? It will be L0 M1 T minus 2. Okay, so let us see what exactly surface tension will be, or it may be defined as the tension of the surface film of liquid which caused by attraction of the particle in the surface layer by the bulk of the liquid, which tends to minimize the surface area. Yes, it is due to the phenomenon of surface tension that the drop of a water tend to assume a spherical shape to attain minimum surface area. So what or which factors can influence this surface tension? As per the example given here, that is a drop of water, you can say that the nature of liquid must influence the surface tension. Yes, due to different magnitudes, adhesive and cohesive forces, different type of liquid have varying surface tension. For example, at 20 degrees Celsius, surface tension of a mercury is 435, around 435 dynes per centimeter. But at 20 degrees Celsius, the surface tension of water is 72.7 dynes per centimeter. Okay, so nature of liquid must, or we can say it is the important factor which influences surface tension. Then second is impurity. So, some highly soluble impurities which can dissolve in water, that can increases the surface tension. Okay, but if there are sparingly soluble substances dissolve in water, then it will decrease the surface tension, like phenol or ethanol, they can decrease the surface tension. And insoluble impurities, when added to the water, it will also decrease the surface tension. Okay, so impurity is also important factor which can influence the surface tension. Then third is temperature. Temperature is also important factor, because as surface tension decreases, temperature is also increases. Okay, surface tension is inversely proportional to temperature. As temperature increases, surface tension decreases. As temperature decreases, surface tension increases, because there is inversely proportionality. Okay, so temperature is also important factor which influences surface tension. And lastly, it is contamination, because the presence of dust particle or any lubricating materials on the liquid surface, that will decrease the surface tension. So contamination is also an important factor which influences the surface tension. Okay, so I hope you must get what exactly surface tension is, what is the definition, and what is the unit, as well as which factors can influence the surface tension. Now, if you are interested to find out the surface tension of any liquid, then what factors, or we can say what methods are there, which methods are available to find out surface tension of any liquid? Then there are three methods of determination of surface tension. First is the drop method, second is stalagmometer method, and the third is torsion balance method. Okay, so as per our syllabus, we are interested to study about stalagmometer method. So let us see how we can find out surface tension of any liquid by using stalagmometer method. So stalagmometer is an instrument which is used to measure surface tension of any liquid, and as the surface tension is directly proportional to weight of the liquid, here dropped from the vertical capillary tube. So here the stalagmometer consists of a capillary tube, glass tube, having a very fine bore, and it is like a pipette having a capillary tube at its end. It is the stalagmometer, that instrument is a like a pipette, and it also have a bubbleless part at the middle, which and a stain on the both side of the bubbleless part. Okay, so this part is calibrated, that bubbleless part is calibrated. Okay, so let us see what is the procedure to find out surface tension of any liquid. Here, by using stalagmometer, determine the relative surface tension of a given liquid with reference to the distilled water. Here the reference liquid have been used, that is distilled water, and surface tension of distilled water is known to us, that is 72.9 per centimeter at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so see which procedure we have to follow. First is wash the stalagmometer several times with water before the use. Okay, washing is very important, so that there should not be any contamination into that stalagmometer instrument. Then second is introduce the flat tip into the small beaker and half filled with the water. Suck the water till its end level becomes above the upper mark. Okay, suck the water from that particular beaker up to the upper mark level. Okay, avoid any air bubble into that instrument. Then adjust the level of water to the upper mark and remove any suspended drop if there are. Okay. Now count the number of drops falling until the level of water reaches to the lower mark and record this number as N1. Okay, or we can say N dash. So whenever you will suck the water into that stalagmometer instrument up to the upper mark level, then allow this liquid to flow out of the meter by that lower end and count the number of drops which are coming out of the meter up to the lower mark. Okay, that number of drops is counted as N1 or N dash. Okay, now repeat this procedure twice and determine N2 and again N3. Repeat this procedure so that we can get accurate reading. Okay, now repeat the procedure for the liquid to be measured after washing the apparatus. Okay, we have been perform this experiment for distilled water first time, and after that repeat this experiment for the liquid of which the surface tension have to be determined. Okay, or unknown liquid is there which surface tension is to be determined. So what will be the formula to count the surface tension of that unknown liquid? It is T upon T dash is equal to N dash rho divided by N dash rho dash. Okay, here dash is used for the unknown liquid. So T is the surface tension of the distilled water, that is 72.8 dyne per centimeter, and T dash is the surface tension of that unknown liquid, which is to be fine. N dash is the number of drops coming out of that unknown liquid, and N is the number of drops of distilled water, where rho and rho dash are the densities, density of the distilled water and density of the unknown liquid. So these all values are known to us, just surface tension, that is T dash, is to be fine. So put up the all values into this formula, calculate it, you will get surface tension of unknown liquid. Okay, so this is the method by which we can find out surface tension of any liquid easily. Okay, so I hope you must get the point, that is surface tension, and how we can determine the surface tension by using stalagmometer method. Now let us see osmosis and osmotic pressure. Osmosis is the term which refers to the movement of solvent molecules through the semi-permeable membrane from a region where solute concentration is low to the region where solute concentration is high. If you see in diagram, you will see in left side there is a salt water into that particular beaker, and in right side there is a fresh water, and exactly at the middle there is a semi-permeable membrane. So solvent is salt water here, and the solvent both the solvents are water. Okay, but in left side there are solute particles of salt, and in right side there are no solute particles because it is fresh water. So the solute particles in fresh water is less and solute particles in salt water is high. So according to the definition of osmosis, here the movement of solvent molecules through the semi-permeable membrane, yes, from region where the solute concentration is low, yes, solute concentration is low at the fresh water, and movement will be from fresh water to the region where solute concentration is high, means out to the salt water, means here fresh water will be flow from this semi-permeable membrane towards the salt water according to the osmosis. Okay, so this is how osmosis is done. And osmotic pressure means it is the pressure by which this water can flow, or we can say this solvent molecules can flow from a region of a solute concentration low to the region where solute concentration is high. Okay, so I hope you must understand what is osmosis and osmotic pressure. Yes, here is a formula for calculating osmotic pressure, that is pi is equal to ICRT, where pi is the osmotic pressure, I is the Ventov factor which is the constant value, C is the molar concentration of the solute in the solution, and R is the universal gas constant whose value is also constant, that is 8.314, and T is the absolute temperature. Okay, so by using this formula one can easily calculate the osmotic pressure, that is the value of pi. So what will be the exact definition of osmotic pressure? It is defined as minimum pressure that must be applied to solution to halt the flow of solvent molecules through the semi-permeable membrane or through the process of osmosis. This is called as osmotic pressure, and by using the formula pi is equal to ICRT one can easily calculate osmotic pressure of any liquid. Okay, so here I value is also known, that is Ventov factor, R value is known, temperature is known, molar concentration of solute is also known. So by using this or by putting these values into the formula one can calculate osmotic pressure. Okay, so I hope you must get the point, that is osmosis and osmotic pressure. So we have been discussed about 3 points in today's video, that is surface tension, experimental determination of surface tension by stalagmometer method, then osmosis and osmotic pressure. Now let us see some sample objectives onto this unit. So the first is biophysics is the bridge between dash and dash. This is a very simple question. Biophysics is the bridge between dash and dash. Whether it is physics and maths, whether it is physics and chemistry, whether it is physics and biology, or physics and geography. So correct answer will be biophysics is the bridge between physics and biology. Yes, so the third option is the correct answer. Then second question, surface tension is measured by dash method. So actually there are three methods of measuring the surface tension. Yes, if you go to that slide, measuring surface tension. So the methods are drop method, stalagmometer method and torsion balance method. So what are the options for this question? Viscometer, volume, stalagmometer or drop wise method. So surface tension can be measured by stalagmometer method. So third option is the correct option. Then third and last question, that is pH of blood is. We have seen this in our slide, that is pH of blood that we have seen in point biological fluids. So the options are 7.1, 7.35, 7.2 and 7.45. So correct answer will be 7.35. Second option is the correct answer. So here we have successfully completed second unit of physics paper 3, and in this unit we have discussed all points regarding to biophysics. Now in next video we will start third unit of physics paper 3. Till then, thank you and bye bye.